then get into the Baha'i faith. Try to become the member of Universal Laws of Justice. Do good things, write books, do whatever if you want to save the faith. Get others within the faith. Without the institution of guardianship, we're gone. I said something one day to the hand of the cause in Montreal. Mr. Marco, he was alive about 16 years ago. I got on the phone. I told him, sir, have you heard that Abdul Baha says if Baha'is, they are different, differences arises between the Baha'is and they create two universal laws of justice, it's both wrong. He says, where is this? I told him, right here in the book called Amr Khalq. Why? Because it is possible that the Baha'is in a city, they don't go against the book, they just go against each other. And then they create two assemblies, they're both wrong. Or in a country, they create two national spiritual assemblies. They're both wrong. But they can. They say, oh, we're Western Baha'is, guys. We have three countries, Canada, United States, Mexico, England. There's national and local there, and we together came down and elected the Universal Laws of Justice. Our Universal Laws of Justice is the right one, yours is not. That's possible. But not if the elders of God are here. We say strictly to you that under no circumstances, no other institutions, no other administration exists except the one that hands of the cause. In 1963, they made it. It's called Universal Laws of Justice. That is the one. If you don't like the drivers of this machinery of God, Baha'u'llah has guaranteed the machine. The car, not the drivers. Drivers, they don't have license, they hit the wall. It's your own fault. You're not good. So, when your oblivions, your lack of information get together, it creates a big heap of ignorance. As your elected representative. Remember that. But with the guarantees and existence of the Elder of God, now we say to anybody else that's claimed that, oh, we're Baha'is with a different administration, and what do we tell them? Sorry. Mason Rabi's absolutely was wrong. Again, I'm not judging him and even other Baha'is. Oh God, they're made by God, I don't know. I'm not allowed to, question God's manufacturing department who's manufactured these people. He knows why. But what they manufacture themselves, I have a word with that. Mason Rabi was called by Shoghi Effendi, hands of the cause. The only way he can get rid of this title is Shoghi Effendi tell him, okay, you're not. He can't even resign from it because an infallible estate has told him that. So if he promotes himself to something bigger than that, he practically says Shoghi Effendi was wrong about my station, by the way. He thought I am hand of the cause. I'm bigger than that. What is that he's saying? He's saying Shoghi Effendi was wrong about him, called him hands of the cause? It's bigger than that? See the implication? Where we can get with this? Plus, 27 hand of the cause, according to Will and Testament, they can stop anybody that those 27 decide that this man is against the faith. And by God, hands of the cause, they advised him whichever possible way they could. But he just wouldn't accept. Because he knew this institution of guardianship has to be there. But he didn't know how. You see? When Shoghi Effendi says they will be known in future, so far we do not know who these 5 others are. If Mason Rabi would have come and said, okay, I'm not the guardian, I'm not the elders, but I can recognize some people as an elder. That even could have some legitimacy. But he called himself as he didn't know. When Shoghi told him, you are hands of the cause, that means, brother, that's where you can go. You cannot go higher than that. Same mistake Azal made. Bob called him chief of the Babis. Well, that means Azal cannot proceed anything higher than that. And he's repudiating with Baha'u'llah. whom Bob calls him the master. Baha'u'llah is the master of the Bob. Bob knew this guy is a bastard and he's after, a station. So he stopped him, tell him, okay, I understand you, Mr. Azal. You are chief of the Babis. Don't go more than this. If you go more than that, you're gone wrong. And some, stupid people, they think he's the successor of the Bab, and Baha'u'llah is wrong. What kind of successor to Bab is that? Bab tells him that do not change the word, my words. To no one in the world Bab has said that. Don't change my word, except to him, because he knew that he will do it. And I have evidences that he has done it. And this is the answer about this little movement, called Masonry, Baha'is, of Covenant, this in U.S. It's not going to get anywhere because it's not based on the truth. It's not supported by the Baha'i documents. I brought these things to you, my dear friends. I'm not after anything by saying these things to you except to fulfill my duty to Baha'u'llah. He's my father. Because of him, I'm in Canada. Because of him, Canadian Baha'is, they brought me here. Why? Because Baha'u'llah went to jail for me. So I can be here. How can I not respond when he calls me, you're an elder? All my books were just about to be printed. I could have been big scholars in the Baha'i faith. When this message came, I said, stop it. I don't want to be known as a big guy among you and then I come back and say this thing. By the way, I wrote the letter only to Universal Laws of Justice, to nobody else in the world. But they just themselves dispersed it all over the place. So these things have to be told. I told you, I opened the door not to repudiate with the station of Universal Laws of Justice. No! Universal Laws of Justice is the machine, the Jaguar, is made by Baha'u'llah. There's no way that you can replace that. Its member, oh yeah, I'm going to replace it. Don't worry, this Universal Laws of Justice today says, I'm an infidel, a covenant breaker. Tomorrow the next one can come and say, we're changing what we said before and change it. It's allowed. The legislation of Universal Laws of Justice can be revoked by themselves. The next Universal Laws of Justice, another Universal of 10 years, 20 years from now. When I died, they found out all my life and everything. I says, okay, this fellow was the elder of Baha'u'llah. Personally, I take the eldership as a punishment to me. Like that movie Captain Kirk. It was funny. As a captain, he did something beyond his responsibility, and they had to punish him and court-martial him. They said there's only one way to get rid of it. We have to call him Admiral. Under that responsibility, he would not be court-martialed. So probably I had to go directly into the hell. Baha'u'llah says, okay, there's only one way we can exempt him. We call him an elder. Boy, now you're exempted from what you have done. But now you have a task a lot harder. You're going to have to do it. Eldership is my punishment, my duty. I suffered because of the damn name. I call it damnation upon myself. But Abdul Baha told me that I am and I have to do it. So I'm doing it. I hate to be tagged. I feel like a cow by these cowboys, and they tagged me that you are this. So I'm tagged. And a smart man never wants to be defining himself by anything. That's how he will succeed among the people. But Baha'u'llah want me to say this, that I'm an elder. Because unless I'm an elder, I cannot speak these things. Because the only way this interpretation can be acceptable is that I be calling myself an elder. If I'm not an elder, I'm not allowed to interpret. But under the provisions of the office of the eldership, I can do it. And I could be infinitely inferior to Abdul Baha. That means the bottom of the bottom of the pot. Okay, it's the video number 2, and you have to listen to this before you continue the rest of this, which my understanding of the Baha'i faith. I believe you people of the North America are pretty smart people. and you don't have that zealous and that things in you, you're going to look at this the way the principle of the Baha'i faith is, has to be according to science and logic. Study, see if I'm right, and decide for yourself. I did my responsibility. It's up to you to do the rest. See you.